What's up, YouTube? So you might wonder what we're doing today. Well, today it is Thursday, December 30th, and in this box right here is a transmission controller out of the charger. Russell Drake is a guy who's been very responsive to my questions, telling him the issues I've been having with this thing going into limp mode, not getting a proper signal from the ABS sensors, and the stupid tone ring that I had to cut down, and been waiting to hear back from Chris at Hotwire Auto. Long story short, Chris told me over a week ago that he was going to send me some different TCM modules and things like that to try out. And he told me to stick with him and we get it resolved. I said, all right, man, you know, that's fine. I just don't like being a guinea pig here. First you told me everything was gonna work, and then when I start telling them I'm having problems, then you tell me that other people have had issues, and you know, but they had mixed and match modules. But stick with you, you'll send me some stuff to try. Well, it's been a week, I've not received anything. So I've not heard from him, no emails, no shipping confirmation or nothing. So I you know, again, this will be the 4th month since I placed the order that I've been waiting to get stuff, and it's just not right. So I'm not gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna get this thing fixed, whatever it takes. So I've talked to Russell Drake, and he told me to send him my TCM. He's gonna make sure it's programmed properly. He's gonna build me one of his kits, which is one of his smaller tone rings that goes between the output propeller and the case of the transmission. I'm gonna hook that up. Basically, it does away with the ABS module and sensors altogether. It's his sensor, it's his tone ring. It ties directly into the TCM. It sends outputs all to the VSS, and all for the VSS, all through the factory harness and all. So it should run everything else that I've got. Hey, believe it or not, YouTube, it's Wednesday, January the 12th, approximately 8 o'clock at night. And believe it or not, I got my FedEx package one day early from Russell Drake. This is the solution if you want to put a NAG1 transmission in your car. This is the kit that you need to buy. This kit is $900. You actually get this module, which is a Powertrain Control Solutions TCM 2600. You get this new tone ring, which we'll go into more detail about that. You get one sensor, which actually is going to point at the tone ring. This is it. It's going to work just like this. It plugs into this harness here. This harness goes up and attaches into the car with this connection here. There's 4 wires to connect. You have the yellow and black wire here, or yellow and brown, which are power and ground. And you have the red and the white, and these are CAN bus high and low. So you wire these up. You run this wire through the car. You hook this up. This hooks to here. Your factory transmission wires from my Hemi harness in this case plug into here. We hook the tone ring up. We disable the ABS computer because we're not using ABS anymore with this setup. I actually removed the 2 ABS sensors from under the car now, and the tone ring that I got from the Hotwire Auto harness that came with the car when I got all this conversion harness. I'm going to remove that crap tone ring that's in there now that doesn't work properly with this setup, especially because I had to modify it because it does not fit the cross member from Hooker Blackheart that I got. And so this is going to be the solution that's going to fix this car. Unfortunately, Hotwire Auto and Chris has abandoned me. I didn't want to, you know, say much. My last video looked like I got it to work, but it didn't work. It went into limp mode immediately after. But I was trying to give Chris the benefit of the doubt. I called Chris immediately and I told him what it was doing. It went in limp mode multiple times. I tried it for the next couple of days, different things, different scenarios, and it kept going to limp mode. I would clear it, it would run, then it would go into limp mode again. I never could get it to consistently stay where it would shift properly. So he said, stick with me. I know you're frustrated. I'm gonna send you a new TCM to try and a care package. And this was on December 21st. And I said, okay, man, I'll try whatever. Just send me something, but I'm frustrated. I spent $3,000 with you, and I got a car I can't drive because he's going limp mode. He goes, okay. I said, okay, great. Just do whatever, man, but I'll spend a lot of money for something that doesn't meet what you said it would do. Well, it's now January 12th, and I've not heard from that cat since that day. No email, no phone call, no deliveries. So I'm trying to run this man down. I've been trying to reach this man consistently off and on since August when I first tried to buy his product. Then he took my money, and then I'm the one that had to run him down and say, where's my product? Why does it keep getting delayed? Blah, 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 blah. And you know the rest of the story looking at my videos. And I've tried to really reach out and give this guy a break and modify the tone ring, and he don't offer any different ones and all this rigmarole, which you've seen in my videos, and tried not to throw this guy under the bus. But the one side of his harness works, it cranks and it runs. But then the benefit of it cranking and running is I asked him for a performance tune for nitric octane. Well, he don't do that. He gives you a stock tune. If it's 87, then that's what you get is 87. Anyway, a lot of stuff that went on I didn't put in my videos for a reason. I tried to be positive, tried to be nice, thinking he's gonna take care of me, and he has not. So I turned around and spent almost $1,000, $928 more, get a different solution here from a different person. If I would have known about this in the beginning, I would have just bought this from the get-go and bought a Holly Dominator system to run the car, and I'd be down the road, but a Holly Dominator run the car with my own tuning system, and this. But I digress. This is where I'm at now. I've already spent the money on the car. Middle of January now, but I'm gonna get this figured out. And I'm gonna show you some videos about it, and hopefully if you're building a car at home or you're considering it, then I've done all the legwork for you, and this has all been worthwhile. And I appreciate you sticking with me, and we're gonna make 22 a good year because we're gonna get this thing figured out. We're gonna do the next step of mods that I wanna do to it. It's gonna be worth it all in the end. Stay tuned. All right, so here's where we're at. We took the adapter for the drive shaft that goes from this 3 flange to a 4 flange style for the 1350 adapter on the drive shaft. And then we took that crap tone ring off that I had to adapt. You can see how tight it is in here. That's why we had to adapt it down. And now we have to take this output propeller off. And to do that, this is a 30 millimeter bolt, nut, whatever you want to call it. We got to take that off. So to do that, I got on Amazon and actually bought some sockets, but you'll see this is a 30. You see this is what it looks like, and this fits it no problem, just like that. And now we're going to take our impact, we're going to wing that off so we can pull this propeller off, because our new tone ring actually goes on the inside of that. But look at that, that just shows you how much smaller in diameter it is, and it's gonna fit like a champ. Now you'll notice the holes, the way they go on here, just line it up for you so you can take a look at it. The way the holes line up here, if I get it, one there, one there. The holes line up in the holes of those threads there. They're gonna be on the opposite side though. All right, so I'll show you how that goes. All right, so unfortunately my camera is just about dead, but I've got the O-ring, or the tone ring on it. You can see it from the inside here, see there? And that thing fits up in there really nice. This is how it should be on the inside, so nothing back here is interfering. And I was able to use my bolts. I just had to take the flat washer off, and then my bolts actually were fine. What I did, I had to take the helicoils out so my bolts would actually go through, and then it was fine, and just use my nuts on the backside. Now if you see right here, see the sensor coming through right there? Let me see if I can do my light so I can hold this. just right for you. But here's where the sensor comes through. There's the mount. It mounts on this bolt that goes through the transmission crossmember. This holds the mount of the NAG1 to the crossmember. You take that bolt out, you put this mount on it that holds this sensor. So the sensor right now, I just got it through here, but see how the sensor goes through like that? You set the depth on it. It's real close. That's how he sent it to me. And when you get the depth where you want it, you take this back off. You got to put a nut on this side, and then you tighten it down. So there's a nut on each side, and that holds a tolerance where you want it. So pretty much you can loosen that and adjust that bracket up and down, but that's going to point just like this. It's stable. It's not going to move. You rotate your O-ring around to make sure it's not going to hit, and it's not. Everything's tied up here and ready to go. So now all I have to do is take this, feed it through, put this nut on it, tighten it all down, and then this is set, the depth set on it, and we're ready to go. And what you'll notice here, there's actually, if you can see it, there's magnets back in there, right above the sensor there. You see they're drilled and pressed in, but there's magnets in there. And there's 3 magnets that spin around, and they're gonna give the signal. So I like the kit. It looks nice. It gives you a lot cleaner setup, and we're gonna get this thing installed. So hopefully I can get my battery charged up on this thing, show you some more, but that's what it looks like. Not a lot of instruction with the kit, but it's pretty self-explanatory once you get in here and start working on it. That's what it looks like when you got this type of Holley black heart cross member and not a lot of room, as you can see. That makes all the difference. All right, it's the next day. Had a little bit of issue last night. I didn't have the CAN bus hooked up correctly. I had it hooked up at the actual data port connector here, and I had to hook it up down at the TCM. So I had communication all the time, because apparently at the port, it's only pulse when you ask it information. It's not constant communication, but at the TCM, it's constant communication. So this is the software, the PCS software. So what I've got up here is actually telling me stuff, what's going on. So if you'll notice, it's in park right now. And when I pull it out of park, see how it changes, says the lever's in reverse, it's in reverse gear. Put it in neutral, it says it's in neutral. I pull it down to park, it actually says it's a 5-speed lever 5, and it's in first gear. It's where it should start out at. So just gives you a little bit of information here about software. My software is interacting, so I am talking to the module. The module's down there on the floor. I'll turn on the lights so you can see it. It's that PCS model TCM 2600, and it's the one that ties into your TCM, so it's not a full standalone module like the 2800 if you have a TCM like I do in this case. So now, what happened last night is because I didn't have a CAN bus signal, it was in limp mode. So as soon as I put it in gear, it went into gear really hard, which is a way to tell that it's in limp mode. So what I'm gonna do now is fire it up and make sure it goes through the gears. But this should be it. It should be ready to go now. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so what that shows you is it actually shifts in automatic mode, and I put it in manual mode and it shifts in manual mode. To put it in manual mode, you pull it to the left one time You saw right here it said true manual, and then as it goes through the gears, you push it to the right once, it shifts up, push it to the right again, and it shifts up. So actually manual mode works and automatic mode works. So it looks like everything is working correctly now. So what I can do now is actually tidy up all my stuff, get the car down, and go out and make sure it's actually going to be driving properly. I did notice my speedometer's not working, so I got to make sure all that's hooked up properly before I go out. Little things to tidy up, and then it'll be done. So, Russell Drake, Sound German Automotive for the win. Alright, first drive with the new transmission controller. We gotta kind of go around some obstacles here in the yard. Together. Yeah, it's shifting. It's not revving up, it's shifting good. I get that speedo to work, we'll be good to go. I got the new water pump on here too. Oh yeah, not only does it shift good, hell, it actually has some power when you pull out now. Something it didn't do before. Alright, hey, the speedometer's trying to work. It's only showing 10 miles an hour, so maybe I just got the ratio way off, and he was telling me that. So maybe that's the problem. I just got to get the ratio turned way up. So it actually is working. Look, see it? The slower we go, it's not barely moving now. So that's all it is. I got to turn the ratio way up. It's actually working. Hell yeah. I got to rewire another. That I'll turn the ratio. He was telling me about that. The ratio may be off. I hate this exhaust. It sounds like a raggedy old car, doesn't it? I'm talking to you.
Yes, it does.
Next week, my 3-inch X-pipe cap, or all the full exhaust should be here. That'll sound a lot better. Sound a little more like a muscle car. Yeah, see, it's showing 10 miles an hour, so I just need to turn the ratio way up, and then the speedometer read right. So yeah, it's actually getting a signal. All right, cool. Turn the video off now.